Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Traveling York. This time I'm going to talk about finance, my experience, where I learned the hard way how I got into debt when I was young, and then I managed to crawl out of it. And I didn't say walk out of it, it was crawling out of debt. It wasn't an easy thing, it wasn't an easy experience, but at the end of the day, I did it. And I would like to share this experience with you guys, and hopefully, you guys can learn a few things. Or maybe if you're not in debt already, then maybe you can agree with me. Or even if you have already escaped debt, so that might have helped as well. So, early debt actually helped me out. Basically, what I meant was that because it was early, I had my $60,000 of credit card overdraft lines. When I first got a job, if you didn't know, I splurged on anything. It could be clubbing, it could be meals, it could be going out with friends, to the movies, everything, even traveling. Yeah, I didn't hold back on it. I just went for it, go for it. Threw the card on the table, sign it. At that time, you needed the sign, of course. Just sign it, and then everything was good. That's what I thought. So the month after month, I keep getting my bills. First, it was $500. Oh, I spent $500 last month. No biggie. It's only $500. What's the minimum sum? $50. No issue. Easily paid it off. Yeah, with the modest income for a starting employee in a bank, I could afford $50 a month. That's what I thought, and I went for it. So the debts actually spiraled out of control. Slowly, it was 1,000, because when you have a habit of spending and spending and spending, it's very difficult to suddenly hold back and say, oh, guess what? Next month, I'm not going to spend anymore. I'm going to relax myself. I'm not going out with my friends. I'm not going to splurge on meals. I'm not going clubbing. When I was young, I was going clubbing. I'm not going traveling. So that was very difficult. So basically, at that point in time, every month was a habit. So every month I spent money. I had overspent it, in fact. So it accumulated so fast and rapidly that, in fact, at one point when I looked at my credit card, and I couldn't believe I'm looking at $12,000 in debt. I was like, oh my God, really $12,000? That's not a good thing. But the minimum sum, I looked at it, and it was $400-$500 thereabouts. And I was thinking to myself, hey, $400-$500, no problem. Still, it's only a fraction of my salary. My salary wasn't that high. It was like 3,000 a month, Singapore dollars. It wasn't that high. And I thought, yes, no issue. I could do it. Yeah. But it spiraled out of control. And that actually scared me. But there's a few things that I learned from early debt, and I'd like to share it with you guys, and hopefully you guys will find it helpful. And this is only through my experience. I'm not giving advice to any of you because I don't know what the circumstances are, but it is from my experience only. Yeah. So the first thing I learned about early debt was that it actually made me learn the value of money. The value of money is very important to me. At that point in time, of course, it was not. What I did was maybe growing up. My parents were quite generous. They weren't rich, but they were generous. Me and my bros wanted a gym set, they would just say, okay, yeah, you worked hard, you studied hard. Yeah, here's your gym set. Here's your PC. Here's you want to go traveling? Yes, we'll bring you where you want to go, Australia, Asia, Korea. So there were places that we could go, and it was something that whenever I asked, I got it. And whenever my brother asked, he got it. Not immediately, of course, but that was the experience that we had. So to me, it was like, value of money, what is it? At that point, I didn't realize that it was so important, because I saw my mom and dad spend on us, and I thought, yeah, okay, if they could spend like that, then perhaps I may spend like that, and I'll be fine like them, because I'm looking at them now, my dad, and he's fine. He's doing okay. He's doing well. So, but I didn't know the sacrifices he did to let that happen. Yeah. So as I was growing up as well, in my teenage years, basically, I'm a spender. Yeah. So every time when I get my allowance from my dad, I would just spend and spend and spend. And then maybe a week from the next allowance, what happens is I got no money. So I approached my bros, and I asked them, hey, do you have $100 on you? can I have some? Borrow, and next month when I get my allowance, I'll return it back to you. And bros actually, without question, being my bros, they'll say, yeah, here you go, take that $100. Yeah, which was great of them. It made me very happy. We were close, and I got it. I got $100, and I was like, okay, great, easy money. Yeah, so the allowance came. I did the same thing again. I paid them back first. I gave them the $100 back, or 200, or whatever the amount was, and then of course, naturally, I got lesser allowance left for the whole month, and it's a cycle. It happens again and again and again. And each time I ask my bros for money, whether it's at the end of the month, even in the middle of the month, they were fine. They were always like, nah, here you go. Why you spend so much? Anyway, try to control yourself. Then here you go. But no questions asked. So in my mind, it was like, no problem. You got the money from your dad, from your bros. They didn't question you. They didn't discipline you. They were so nice to you. So money is easy to come by. And that's what I thought, how wrong I was. So point number 2 was that it made me really responsible. When I had early debt, what happened next was that I was super responsible. After a certain amount of time, of course, after I accumulated so much debt that I realized that, oh no, I'm in big trouble now. I need to do something about this. Can't go on, or my life is screwed. So what I did was I stepped back, have a look, reflected, and then I realized I had to do something. So early debt really made me more responsible. I didn't like the way I was running my life, because every time I was afraid of credit card statements, bank letters, bank statements. Every time I look at my credit card statements, it's like every credit card is like maybe 6,000, 7,000 limit. Let's say 7,000 limit. And after I did the minimum sum payment, oh, I've got $6,900 a bill debt. So I only got $100 available limit. And that $100, I had to just write it one side and say, okay, for this card A, I had $100. Card B, I had $250. Card C, I had $300. Or, I had a portion, like maybe $1,000 that I could use from the card. And I was happy. That's the sad thing. I was happy. I was worried, yet I was happy that I had some fallback. So although I paid my minimum sums, there was credit balance available after you paid the minimum sum, and there I was surviving just by that available credit limit and my salary that comes in, and chunk of it goes to the minimum payment. So it's a really vicious cycle. And when I went through that, I thought to myself, I had to be responsible with money. So I stepped back with early debt. I stepped back, took the time to look at it, and then I had to come up with a plan. Yeah, and that plan was painful indeed. Yeah, so that early debt really made me a responsible person, especially with money. Point number 3 was that I realized that it was so much fun using other people's money. The banks, they give you credit lines, overdraft, balance transfer, no problem. You have money, you're paying 24% on a credit card, a $10,000 credit limit, paying 24%, here you go. Take that 10,000, transfer it to another account with us, the other bank, and then what we're going to do is we're going to reduce your 24% to just 6% or 7%. And I was like, yes, that meant that the interest wouldn't be so high. And guess what? Once I did that, to that balance transfer, this bank A, which I took the 10,000 from, to transfer to bank B, who's now charging me about 6-7% from 24%. Bank A credit limit is available for me to use. I was so happy. I was like, yes, here we go again. Start afresh. Yes, start afresh. So I took that $10,000 and yeah, I got money. It's like a bonus to me. So I'm using other people's money. It was so fun. And I realized that was not true at all. In my other videos, later on, I will share with you how I managed to overcome debt. It is a really painful process, and I guess there are so many people out there going through it, and I wish you all the best, and I wish you that you can do it. There's no way that you can say no, regardless of your age. Although I mentioned this is early debt, don't worry about it. You can clear it out. Point 4 about early debt. This is something I thought about because when you have debt in general, basically what you're using is you're using your future earnings, your future hard work. You have not earned that money. if like for me, I was owing $60,000. That's $60,000. If I equate it to work and money, work and hardship, yeah, that's like, I would say 2 years of slogging, 3 years of slogging, hard work, so that you can earn that balance 60K money. I'm not even talking about the money that you earn for your expenses and all your general cost of living. This is extra money that you splurge on credit cards, traveling, clubbing, restaurants, enjoying the life, the high life. Okay, not so high life, the medium to high life. Yeah, and as a 20-year-old, as a 25-year-old. Yeah, so I was doing that. Yeah, so what happened was that this future earnings that I never got yet, I'm using this money and spending, and the future earnings, the future hard work will come back one day to haunt you, and that will bite you back so hard, and then that's when the pain starts. So if you have a chance not to go through that, don't do it. Don't. I always say, don't learn the hard way. If there's an easy way of learning it, just go for it then. Okay, now coming to point 5. Point 5 is very important to me because I was in early debt in my 20s, all the way up to close to early 30s. And I took about 3 years, 3 years to clear my debt. It was a terrible feeling. And I realized one thing, that early debt in my 20s made me a better person. And what I mean by better person is that I realized that there are a lot of people going through this same experience. Some have overcome it, some are in the midst of overcoming it, some have not, and maybe have not got a plan out yet. So in my future videos, I would like to share with you what I did to help myself. Hopefully that will help for you guys. But the early debt made me a better person. I understood money. I understood now when I see anybody that is struggling and having a hard time in life, I really empathize because I felt it. I was in that shoes, the same shoes that they were in. Maybe slightly different, but I could resonate to what was happening to these people, and I fully empathize with them, and I really hope that they will overcome all these obstacles and be free. Yeah, that's the reason why I do this, and this made me a better person. And I will never ever look down on anyone who is in debt or struggling, because when I was in debt, I tell you, I had friends, I had families, I had loved ones. You had all these people around you. But the thing is, none of them can help you, because sometimes you don't want to share your burden with the rest. You don't want them to know. More importantly is that you felt alone in this. So your loved ones, your friends, your families, they are there to support. You can always count on them sometimes. But at the end of the day, you're alone. It's your problem. You fix it. And that's the way I looked at it, and that's the path I took. Yeah, my wife was very understanding in that point, and that helped me out a lot. So if you guys want to know how I cleared my debts, I would love to bring out a video to show you guys, because I feel that my steps might work for some of you, might not work for every one of you, but at least you know my story. So guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I'll send out the next video regarding how I cleared my debt, and I hope you can maybe resonate with that. Cheers. See ya.